A few days ago, my very favorite source for quality journalism, the Washington Post, published this really helpful guide on how to identify ultra-processed foods, so I figured we should go through it together while I'm drinking this food dye-laden Diet Mountain Dew that's been sitting on my desk for a few weeks. Well, that's got a lot going on. So welcome to this dumpster fire of an Instagram post, and truthfully, I don't think people's health problems stem from their inability to identify what an ultra-processed food is. I think most people would agree with you that Cheetos and Oreos do not exist in nature, but if you find an Oreo tree, let me know, and that our diets should be composed of lean protein, fruits and vegetables, whole grains, healthy fats, etc. Instead of this, we need to ask people, why are you buying the foods that you do? Because I promise you people have a reason. And then working to identify and break down the barriers that are preventing people from making healthier dietary changes. Like working to increase availability, access, reducing the cost of produce items. How does somebody being able to identify ultra-processed foods work to fix any of these problems? I'll give you a hint, it doesn't. But nevertheless, onward. To improve your eating habits this year, you don't need to count calories or carbs. Instead, focus on how much your food has been processed before it gets to your dinner table. I swear, if this becomes a diet trend this year, I'm gonna lose it. So the headline said, look for these 9 red flags to be able to identify ultra-processed foods. But after reading the caption, I kind of got the feeling that it was, look for these 9 things so you can avoid them so you can eat less ultra-processed foods. So that's kind of the angle that I am approaching this with. Number 1, more than 3 ingredients. Why 3? Who picked that number? And which ingredients? Oh, you mean simple ingredients, so the ones you can't pronounce. Goodbye baby formula, nice to know you. 2, thickeners, stabilizers, and emulsifiers. So if you need a plant-based milk or something gluten-free, no, and who cares if lecithin actually has health-promoting properties? They don't do science here. Heaven help us if we want a minuscule amount of a preservative in a food item to prevent bacterial growth, spoilage, extend the shelf life a little bit because grocery prices are expensive as all get out. 3, added sugar and sweeteners. Try to avoid foods with corn syrup, cane sugar, etc. But if you want extra sweetness, add your own sugar because obviously your sugars are totally different than these ones. Anything ending in ose, sugars, bad. What about lactose? Moving on, health claims. Which ones? That's not vague at all. And this list of products, there are great and not great options in all of these categories. So this isn't helpful in the slightest. So we're talking about sugar again. How many times here are we going to move the goalpost? Avoid added sugar, avoid hidden sugar, but you can't replace sugar with artificial sweeteners. Now you're telling me to avoid foods that are low in added sugar, but didn't you just tell me to avoid added sugar twice? What's happening here? Instant foods, God help us if we want to save time. And I don't know what he's talking about with the oatmeal, but those are still oats and they're great. And lastly, don't be tempted by foods that offer a variety of fruity or other flavors like fruit-flavored yogurt. Buy plain and add your own. I'm sorry if you hate happiness, things that taste good, want a little variety in your life, have children, or just don't have time, but this smells a little John Harvey Kellogg to me. Because according to him, highly seasoned, stimulating sauces and dainty tidbits in endless variety irritate nerves and react upon sexual organs. We can't have people eating fruited yogurts and then buttering their muffins, can we, Washington Post? I don't think this was helpful in the slightest, but I think it's a good reminder to change the question from what is a processed food, to why are we buying the foods that we are? And then from there, what are the barriers that are preventing us from making healthier dietary changes? And then what can we do to break those down? Because if we're not asking the right questions, we can't identify the problems. And if we don't know what the problems are, obviously we can't fix them. That's all I got. If you're really bored, go read up on John Harvey Kellogg. Okay, bye.